Start over.
Really?
I don't want to edit that.
No,
That's weird. Welcome to the last cast video segment, weekly video segment for the Outdoor Line Radio Show. Boy, we covered chum fishing today. I tell you what, the chums are blowing up here on the west side, the southwest rivers.
Yep.
Satsip, hump tulips. What about the Wainucci? Is there
it's plugged full of chum.
Yeah,
they all are. Yeah, they all are. It's just but you don't really. Well, you can't keep them, so nobody fishes for them.
But you catch the crap.
But you spend all day fighting them and putting them back.
Yeah, the Snohomish system's full of them, the Skagit. We talked to Derek Anderson from Screaming Reels Guide Service on the show today. He's just knocking the crap out of them on the Snohomish.
One of the misperceptions about chum is the fact that they're like a sockeye. They are an exclusive filter feeder. Have you seen their teeth lately? Mm-hmm. I mean, they eat a wider spectrum. They eat a wider spectrum of the food chain.
They do.
How many have you caught in Southeast Alaska?
Tons.
Yeah.
Tons of them. We catch them all the time.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the time.
That's my point.
Yeah.
They're not just a small item feeder, but in the saltwater, if I'm attacking them in the saltwater, I am using smaller squids.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Get in the river. It's a K-15 quick fish deal. At least if you're fishing from the boat. Boy, Derek's been getting them on the Double Trouble, which is a green and chartreuse quick fish, but anything purple or pink.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're bank fishing, a 3/8 ounce jig in purple and pink works really well. 3/8 ouncer, twitching that baby. Maybe if you want to put a piece of prawn or an 18 count shrimp tail on there, that works really well. Also
under a float.
Well, actually, just twitching it.
Just twitching
Boy, they just chomp all over that. Then if you want to float fish, go with a big pink jig. Big purple jig, cerise works really well. Make sure they're big. They got a lot of movement. If that thing's moving and wiggling, they jump all over it. And tip it with a piece of prawn. And Duane, during the show today, you mentioned how if you want to learn how to steelhead fish with a float, this is a great time to get out.
Whether you're an adult picking up fishing for the first season or you got some kids and teenagers that want to get out and learn how to float fish, the hardest thing to do on learning any technique is to go out time after time after time
and not
hooking in because you don't know if you're doing it right. You don't know if everything's coming together for you. You spend a day on the water where you got a lot of chum kind of kegged up.
Yeah.
You can perfect your technique. You can learn how to mend your line properly. You can learn how to watch your float. You can adjust your float depth and see
you can learn what a bite is.
And you can see what a bite is.
The float doesn't always go down. Sometimes it'll shimmy, it'll shake, it'll do something different.
And what you're speaking about is confidence.
Absolutely.
And I thought one of the best points of the show today was when Mike Jenkins.
I was just going to go to that. Yeah.
He mentioned this. Mike Jenkins from Upfront Outfitters, very experienced elk hunter. He was describing on how to first attack a hunt, a piece of the woods, and he says, "Listen, I do my homework. Okay, I've got confidence of where I hunt because I scout it, I learn it. Okay, and in that way I can hunt it slow with the confidence that there are critters here." One
thing he mentioned in our interview with him today is he travels pretty fast until he finds fresh sign.
He mentioned 3 speeds of hunting.
Yep.
I was thinking about that last year. I got a chance to spend some time at his camp down in Southwest Washington. Of course, we're talking to Mike Jenkins from Upfront Outfitters, just a great guy. Invited me down to his camp. He says, "Okay, you want to go off this direction." So I went off out there. I rode my bike for 3-4 miles. I got off the bike, started walking up this road, and I see these fresh elk tracks all over the place. And I made the mistake of just keeping moving fast, I just was like, "Oh yeah, those look fresh." He said, "You know what? If there's fresh sign there, they are not far away. They don't travel like Rocky Mountain elk. They do a lot of traveling. These things, if you see fresh sign, they're very close by." Sure enough, I saw some fresh elk tracks. Took 3-4 steps. The woods erupted. There's elk running all over the place. If I would have just stopped,
just take it all in, right?
And just take a breath and just slowly crept along, you know what? I would have snuck right up on those elk.
Did you have your cow call with you?
I had my cow call, but I didn't have the wherewithal to pull it out. And instantly, of course, then it's too late. Then there's elk running all over, and I just blew it.
And you're sort of like a cow.
Probably one of the most significant parts of today's show, of course, with the gubernatorial candidates.
Oh, yeah.
Rob McKenna, Jay Endsley both joined us via the phone. We tried to be, pretty fair with the candidates and keeping the questions and the time relatively the same. And I was pleased with a lot of their answers. And as an undecided voter myself, I appreciate the fact they took the time out of their Saturday morning to join us today.
One thing I was impressed with was neither one of them backed off on the Columbia River gillnet situation.
They were on that, yeah.
They were all over it. They said, "No, we need to get non-tribal gillnets out of the Columbia. That's it. We need to get them out of there." I was pretty impressed with that. Main stem Columbia.
Now, and we try not to go so over political on this show, but let's face it, we can't do what we're doing and try to make movements and progression on a positive side for recreational if we're not in tune with what's going on.
If all we had to do was go to the tackle shop, go to the outboard place, and
Yeah.
get your shift. If
Yeah.
that's all we had to do,
Yeah.
I would love that.
Oh,
we would do it.
unfortunately,
It's a
we
fact
have
of life. It's a
politicians.
fact of
It
life.
is a
You
fact of
gotta
life.
be aware of
So
what
the
who's
fact
going
that they were willing to spend a little time of their day,
Yeah.
they're so busy on the campaign trail right
Yeah.
now with 10 days in closing. I mean,
Yeah.
it shows that they are taking into account the importance of the recreational fishing and hunting in the state of Washington. And for those that caught the show today, you should be glad that you got to listen
Yeah.
in.
It speaks.
Cool.
It speaks to how close the race is, but it also the bigger issue to me is it speaks that they're recognizing the outdoor sports and sportsmen, hunters, fishermen as a significant voting block.
Absolutely.
We finally kind of got our stuff
And-
together that far.
Yeah, and a significant part of the economy. $1 billion is
Yeah.
generated from sport fishing alone, and then a bunch more from hunting. So
Yeah.
we're a big part of this
Jobs.
economy. A lot of jobs.
Jobs,
16,000 jobs here in Washington created by the sport fishing industry.
right.
Pretty
There you
cool.
go.
All right. Well, next
get outta here.
next
I gotta go to
weekend
work.
we'll be coming to you live from the Bayside Marine Salmon Derby. Blackmouth opens this Thursday. Look for a fishing report. Come heck or high water, skunk or success. I'll have a report up on the outdoor line.
Okay.
Also, I just got a new blog up yesterday. The killer way to use Peterson's pucks and smoke barbecue a chunk of fish.
And we got some Peterson pucks here we might snag.
Do we
These
have
guys
cheese?
left them all.
Do we have cheese?
Just gonna do
Oh,
some
no
smoked
cheese. I'm not smoking cheese.
So you're going blackmouth fishing.
I'm going
this week.
blackmouth fishing.
You're going to Southwest Washington.
I'm going after
And I'm-
crows and
I'm
caves.
going blacktail hunting.
Okay.
We're all going different directions.
Go get 'em.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Last Cast segment here on the Outdoor Line of 710 ESPN Seattle.